We are looking at a 1986 Panasonic DX-3000 sold here in North America. Recently purchased this bike from the Chicago area, from the original owner, I believe. It's a very good looking bike with the black and yellow color scheme. It's also a bit unique because if I can get up close enough here for you to see, the paint actually has some metallic flake to it, which may or may not show up on camera for me. But it actually makes it a little more attractive than just your standard black. You get it out in the sunlight and it really kind of pops. Other than that, I mean, the DX-3000, it was a affordable price point bike when it was new. Partially, that was due just to the fact that it had lesser known Shimano components. It's kind of a mix and match. I mean, if we look at the rear derailleur here, it's got a light action Shimano. Don't even recall the model unit number right now. Same deal with the brakes, just your basic Shimano, sub 105. It's probably, kind of like an X-Age group would be in that price point. This particular bike, if I look at the crank here, you can see it has the Shimano 600 crank. That is actually not factory. It would have had an SR crank on it from the factory, so someone at some point has replaced that crank. It does have the original rims, as you can see, which is unique. It's a 700 by 25C on the factory tire, but it has a Schrader valve instead of a Presta valve, which is quite annoying to me, but tolerable nonetheless. The only kind of higher end component they put on these bikes were the brakes. It actually has Shimano 600 brake levers on here, complete with the Shimano 600, really hard to find brake hoods. As you can see, these are actually backwards, so whoever poorly rewrapped I might add, these handlebars, must have taken the hoods off and got them on backwards. So given the fact that they're pretty dry and don't feel too great right now, taking them off and switching them around might be a little bit of a task for me here. But I will be rewrapping the bars and should probably correct that at the same time. So you can see the head tube badge here, distinct for this 86 model. Also, down to the original tires on this particular bike, which is something that you just don't see very often anymore. And they're in surprisingly decent shape, so I don't think this one was really ridden too much. But 700 by 25, 100 psi tires. The original frame tubing decal there. And the number 900 tubing, double butted. And you can see this one came from Smith Cycles in Chicago. So the only other thing on this bike, besides the crank that's been changed, would be the saddle, I believe. Normally these, per the catalog, had a Saddle Italia, a sportier saddle, and someone had put this touring model on here. But that will be going away for one of my customary turbo saddles, or perhaps something yellow. I'm not sure quite yet what I'm going to do on this one. But the bike hasn't really been cleaned up. This is pretty much as I got it. I just took it out of the box and dusted it off and just wanted to show you, kind of what we're looking at with these. Very nice bike. You can actually buy them. These days they typically sell in the 300 or less price points. And it makes a really nice rider. Like I said, it's not super high end in terms of components, but it does ride very nice and simple enough to work on. So if you're looking to get into Panasonics, in terms of the DX-3000, this is probably one of my favorite models, aside from the brake hood issues. But the 87s also had the yellow to black fade, and they also look quite nice. But I always like the 86 just a little bit more for some reason. So hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching.